and I know of no instance where he did so accept such a person in his entourage.
You asked me to give you a sketch of Mr. Truman, as I have known him so long and so well, and with such deep admiration. I think in talking about a man, what one should do is to think about those qualities of the man which he gets from his ancestors and those which he himself has developed in his own life. Now the first, and I think the most vitally important thing about Mr. Truman is his vitality. People with vitality are going to be someone in the world. People without it are not going to be someone. Those who have it may be good people or bad people, but they're going to be people. They're going to be outstanding. They're not going to be these pallid characters that never make their mark in the world. In your own country, you have the great Villas connection, and people who have that blood, the blood of that old squire in the 16th century, have got vitality. Mr. Churchill has it. Maynard Keynes had it. Many of your countrymen do. Mr. Truman had that. He was able to work all day, all night. He never flagged. He never tired. He just had this great life force bubbling through him. Now this carries with it another quality, and that is intense curiosity. This man was eager to know about everything. He was eager to open every book, every drawer, look into whatever there was to look into, and always curious, always trying to find out, always wanting to know. And then with these, there is another quality which with him was vastly important. And that is that when he was through working, when the time came when he could rest, he was able to rest instantly. He was not a worrier. He did not have any Hamlet quality about him. He could work until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, drop on his bed, go instantly to sleep, and be up at 5 and off to work again. These are very important characteristics in a man. Then you come to those which develop over his own life. He had a hard life. It was not an easy one. And this hard life of his made him disciplined. He was able to make himself do what had to be done. He didn't have to stop when he was tired. He didn't have to stop to give up when things were going badly. He was a soldier. He was a disciplined character. And along with these also, and this comes into the qualities which he developed himself, was the quality of judgment. Now, this is a very difficult thing to describe. Mr. Truman had both humility and arrogance. He still has it today. He was not sure that his judgment was always right. I've had a good deal to do with your former great Prime Minister. He never suffers from this lack of confidence in his judgment. Mr. Truman wanted advice. Mr. Churchill also wanted and took advice. Mr. Churchill perhaps a little bit less than Mr. Truman. He gathered around him people whose judgment he respected, and he listened to them. And he wanted always to know how long a time he had to consider a question. And whether that time was 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours a day, or 2 days, within that time he worked. He didn't have to read one-page memoranda. He was not a person who had to have things pointed out to him in capsule form. He would do all that had to be done, and then he would decide. And this is the rarest gift that is given to man. I remember General Marshall saying this to me, that there are many brilliant men. There are many people who have great analytical powers. There are many people who have great judgment. But when it comes to decide, there are very few who can do that, and Mr. Truman could.